Alright YouTube, in today's episode we're going to show you how to make smoked mac and cheese, and actually you're going to get a 3 or 4 in 1 here. We're going to show you how to make gravy for your gravy biscuits. We're going to show you how to make a roux. We're going to show you how to make mac and cheese, and we're going to show you how to smoke macaroni and cheese. So you're going to get 4 in 1 in this one episode. So stay around, watch this video, and at the very end I'll have the recipe up with all the ingredients you need, so don't worry about writing it down as you go along. It'll be at the very end. Thank you and enjoy. What's up everybody, this is Mike Lovelace with Lovey's Barbecue, and we have a food and travel channel. I'm glad you're checking us out. But today it's Thanksgiving Day, and man, we have so much to be thankful for. I mean, we got the beautiful weather here in North Carolina. I'm going to show you something that's pretty easy to cook. And it's always a big favorite of ours. It's smoked mac and cheese. So try this out on your Kamado grill or your smoker. Really easy supplies to buy at your local grocery store. I'm going to cheat a little bit and buy the Velveeta box packages, and then we'll add to that. So check this out. Hope you guys like it. Please like and subscribe, and tune in for more food and travel videos. Thank you. Happy Thanksgiving. Alright, for our main item we're going to need as our ingredients is Velveeta box shells. And you don't have to buy Velveeta, you can buy whatever you want, or you don't even have to buy Velveeta. At the end you'll see where I said you can buy 3 pounds or 48 ounces of noodles. But within the box, of course, you got the pouches. If you've ever fixed Velveeta or Kraft mac and cheese at home, you're going to need a block of cream cheese. We're going to need that for our roux. And I always purchase 2 16-ounce. And this one right here is Member's Mark. It's just the Sam's brand, but it's 4 cups or 1 pound of sharp cheddar cheese. You can use mild if you'd rather use mild. And we also are going to have a 1/4 cup of flour and 3 cups of milk. This is how we're going to make our gravy, which is really going to turn into a roux. But just in case you're not Southern, or nothing against Northerners, I know you know how to cook too, but we'll show you how to do that. But once we get all this out, you're going to take your 3 pounds of macaroni or noodles, and you're going to go ahead and put that in some hot boiling water. Once that gets up to boil, you got to stir that frequently. You don't want that to stick to the bottom. But we're going to boil that for between 10 and 12 minutes. I believe the box says 8 to 10, but I always wait till it comes to the boil and then boil it between 10 and 12 minutes till the noodles are done. Alright, now we're going to show you how to make gravy. I'm going to speed this up a little bit, but we're going to take a 1/2 stick of butter and stick it in your pan, and you can do this in a frying pan as well. This is my favorite pots and pans. Have been around for a while, but you take a 1/2 stick of butter and you melt that. Once that gets melted, then you're going to take your flour, which is a 1/4 cup of flour, and you're going to spread that around in the butter, and then you're going to brown that a little bit. I'm going to give you another tip here if you want to try this sometime too. You don't have to use the butter. If you really want to add some extra flavor to this mac and cheese and you want to use some bacon grease, you just want to coat the bottom of this with bacon grease real good, and then you could put your flour in it, and it'd kind of be like you're having bacon gravy, like you're going to eat it in the morning on some biscuits or some toast. You could try that as well. I've done that as well, but right here we're just doing the traditional way with just butter and some flour, 1/4 cup of flour. You can see here I'm getting it good and hot. You want to turn this about halfway up on your burner. Once it gets good and brown, you want to brown it a little bit. Of course, the longer you leave it in there, the more brown it's going to become. And here we're going to pour in our milk, 3 cups of milk. Put a little bit of pepper in there. Stir that real good. You always got to be stirring on this. You want to don't leave it for a long time and walk away. If you do, you'll scald it and burn the bottom. So just make sure you're constantly stirring this. Keep a good close eye on it. Once this comes to a boil, it'll start thickening up, and that's actually when you know you got your gravy. And once it starts boiling, you just cut the heat off altogether, or cut it on really low, or simmer, and then you just keep going until it's to the thickness or the consistency that you want. If you're going to eat it on some biscuits or have it as a gravy, pour it over some sausage or eggs. Just thought I'd throw this extra in because really this is what you do when you make homemade gravy on the weekends or whenever you eat it. But we're getting ready to add some cream cheese to this. I take a block of Philadelphia cream cheese. You want to go ahead and let it set out for a while and get kind of room temperature, and cut it into sections of 8, because you're getting ready to reduce the heat on this and start adding your cream cheese, and you'll start stirring it as well. Here you can see the thickness it's thickening up. Again, this is part 1 of this on how you make gravy, in case you didn't know how to make gravy. Most people do, but there you go. So now we're adding the cream cheese, Philadelphia cream cheese. You can get the Food Line brand, whatever brand you want to on cream cheese. You just need 8 ounces. I usually put 3 or 4 of these in at a time, and then start stirring it consistently. You want a smooth texture in this, a smooth consistency. So you put 3 or 4 at a time in till you use all your little blocks, and then you just want to constantly be stirring this again. You don't want to scald it. You take a whisk and whisk it as you go until it's nice and smooth, and you get all the lumps out. Alright, now this roux is looking really good. I mean, it's real thick, smooth, got all the lumps out. You've reduced the heat. Remember earlier we reduced the heat down to low or simmer. You could probably at this point cut it off, and you're just stirring it, constantly stirring it, having that cream cheese mix in with the flour and the milk. Man, it's some good. It's really rich though, really rich. So you want a good consistency here. It's nice and thick, and we're ready to take this and pour it over the noodles and the cheese. So hang tight with us. Alright, earlier you drained your noodles. Once that 10 or 12 minutes was up, you drain your noodles, you pour them in a big pan here, big bowl, and I went ahead and took the 4 pouches of Velveeta cheese. You can use your own 16 ounces of any other cheese, or you can buy the Velveeta in the pound and just add it to noodles. You don't have to buy the boxes, but we add it to this, and then we're getting ready to add the roux here. So here we come with the roux. You just pour this on top of all of it. You want to get every single bit of you can out of this. So at the end here, you see I'm scraping and getting every bit of it out here, but this is going to make it nice and creamy, again rich. This is going to be a cheesy mac and cheese. You might need to take something else to loosen things up down the road, but it's going to be nice and thick and really cheesy. If you want it even a little more creamy, just back off on the number of noodles you make. You'll see at the end of this that this actually makes a half pan, and then a little bit more than a half pan, so it's over a half a pan at a time when you're making this. If you want to make a full pan, just double the recipe at the end, and you'll make a full size pan, and then it'll be a little bit over a full pan. But we're getting ready to speed things up here. You just want to mix this really well. You're getting the roux, the cream cheese, the milk, and the flour, and the Velveeta cheese all together, mixing it in really well. Just keep stirring and stirring and stirring. Eventually, it'll be a nice consistency. Alright, so keep stirring here. I sped things up to about 3 times the normal speed here to make this video a little quicker. So just giving you an idea of what we're looking at here. And then you're going to pour this into a half pan. I would go ahead and spray your half pan ahead of time with some non-stick spray. Just make it easier later on. As you can see, it filled up this half pan, plus this other little casserole pan we had, or casserole bowl that we had. So it's quite a bit. Then you'll take your other 16 ounces, which I said 24 ounces in the recipe. You take a 16 ounces, mix it in with the roux, and then you'll take about a half, 8 ounces, 2 cups, and put shredded on top. Also, I would spray the top of that half pan with non-stick as well. Also spray the inside of your aluminum foil, because we're going to wrap this and put it on the smoker. Here I'm throwing on my Kamado grill, we're doing this today, and I put some hickory chunks in here and lighten this up. Whatever you do not want to put this macaroni and cheese on your Kamado grill or your smoker if it is bitter smoke coming out. You want a blue thin line, translucent smoke when you do this. Here you'll see I've got the mac and cheese actually on the smoker now. We're going to cook this at 380 for about an hour, between 350 and 400. I punch about 8 to 10 holes in the top of this aluminum foil so that it's not overbearing in the smoke at first, just in case you have some residual you're trying to burn off at the beginning of this. Here we've pulled it off the smoker after an hour. Actually, it was 30 minutes on and then 30 minutes without the aluminum foil, and I did wrap it, let it sit for 10 or 15 minutes. So you can see cheese is melted. It's been on for about an hour now. And to finish this off, I take it and put my oven on broil and stick this in there on the top shelf, not too close to the burners, but on the top shelf in my oven, and crisp this up a little bit. So I hope you enjoyed this video. Please like and subscribe. Again, you can put it on your smoker and cook the whole time without aluminum foil on top. It just depends on how much smoke you want on here. This is great to put on there though when you're cooking your Boston butts or your briskets. Hope you enjoy. Please like and subscribe. Alright, as promised, here's the ingredients left to at the very end of this video that you'll need to make the macaroni and cheese. As I mentioned earlier, we're actually you're doing 4 in 1 here. I showed you how to make gravy, showed you how to make a roux for your macaroni and cheese, then showed you how to make macaroni and cheese. At that point, if you don't want smoked macaroni and cheese, it's already cooked. You can just put it in your oven and bake it for 30 minutes to an hour, and it's ready to go. Or if you want it smoked and you want that smoked taste to it, go ahead and throw it on your Kamado grill or your offset smoker or your Shirley Fabrication smoker, whatever smoker you have laying. Just throw it on your smoker, let it cook for about another 45 minutes to an hour. Again, be careful of the bitter smoke. You want a translucent blue smoke coming out. You don't want white or dark smoke coming out, because it will make it extremely bitter. Thank you again.